that countdown timer out of here. And here I am. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dan Bauer. You are watching Breakfast with Disaster, where we tell you everything that can possibly go wrong so you can avoid it. We are live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. We are very happy to be here. I am very happy to be here. I have been on the road for the past 2 weeks. Spent a week in Nashville for the BOMA International Conference. Spent last week in Dallas, Texas for ServPro Conference, or ServPro Convention, I should say. And I am tired. And this is the best part of my day because I get to talk to all you lovely people about a topic that I am passionate about, perhaps weirdly so, and that's disaster restoration. Some of you may know that this was not always the industry that I was in. I'm a pretty recent transplant. My last job was in luxury brand marketing. I'll give you some examples. These handbags, Mark Cross, beautiful handbags, carried by Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, you name them. Definitely interesting. I worked with a hotel, the Mark here. You may recognize it from the Met Gala. This is where all the stars go to get ready. Kate Middleton had her baby shower in the Penthouse, which is the most expensive in North America. It was a totally different world. But I like ServPro. I like ServPro best. Basically for one simple reason. Nobody needs a $10,000 handbag. People do need what we do. We are in a position to really help people when something happens, when disaster strikes. And for that reason, and let me just say my good mornings here. Morning, everybody signing on. Jackie, Michael, Diane, Lisa, Allie, Jennifer. Good to see you guys. Lynn, good to see you. I'm passionate about this industry because we are in a position to help people, right? And I get really upset when I see other companies in this industry perhaps giving us a bad reputation or a bad name or not living up to that ethos, because that's what we live by here. And the story I'm going to tell you today is going to sound a little crazy, but it's an example of this that does have real world implications. So you might laugh, you might smile, you might smirk, you might be like, I can't believe this is real. It's true crime today on Breakfast with Disaster. And you may have seen this already. I'm going to lower my chair. A report came out last week. And it's been a couple different places. It's mostly been picked up only by the insurance press, like Trade, Insurance Journal, Claims Journal. I would not be surprised to see this tomorrow on Good Morning America because it's wacky, right? Headline here. Gang members charged with violent takeover of the New York fire mitigation industry. Believe it or not, and this was news to me, this came out last week, the Blood Street Gang, you may have heard of, attempted a hostile takeover of all the fire restoration work in New York City. If you're not familiar with the Bloods, I can jog your memory. They're a street gang. They're mostly based out of L.A. They became a huge part of popular culture along with their rivals, the Crips, in like the 90s, 2000s, partly due to hip-hop, partly just due to the news. They had this very well-publicized feud with the Crips, and it was sort of all over the place, red, blue. They're still active now in 2022, and allegedly they're trying to get in on my industry, get into the restoration industry. According to the FBI, and this is the classic Blood's hand signal that all the kids in my, third grade class tried to learn for some reason. According to the report, the FBI, Homeland Security, and the New York Police Department charged 9 defendants with, here's the exact quote, violent racketeering and extortion conspiracy to take over the fire restoration industry in New York City, which is crazy. Their company, it was called First Response Cleaning Corporation in Brooklyn, and usually I wouldn't name it, but it's out there now. They allegedly used violence to extort other players in the industry and file false insurance claims. And the basics of the scheme are this, and this is as stated by the New York City Commissioner of the Department of Investigation. As alleged, the defendant submitted false claims to insurance companies in a scheme to ensure coverage for defective restoration work, and then they would pocket the money. So they would go out to homes, businesses that had a fire. They would basically pretend to do the work, or they would sort of halfway do it, and then they would file these bloated invoices with the insurance carriers, and they would use violence to extort the homeowners, to extort the adjusters, to extort anybody involved to get those claims paid so they could then take the money. They would also use violence and threats against other restoration companies to force them to give over customers, hand over leads and referrals, or to just straight up pay them production money to keep quiet. They threatened adjusters, they threatened agents, anybody. And their go-to method was pretty scary. because they only really had to be violent once, and they would record it. And if you were involved in this industry at all, if you were involved in a claim, they wouldn't get on, and they would just send you video after video of them attacking people in your industry, so you would know what would happen to you if you did not play ball. It had this kind of implicit threat of noncompliance. It's important to know that this company, and I was just going to say good morning to Kathy and Betty and Jennifer and Dev and everybody joining up. Told a crazy story about the Bloods in New York City getting in on the fire restoration industry. This company that they became a part of was not always this criminal enterprise. It was actually incorporated in 2008 by a couple named Carl and Charlotte Walsh. And they ran it for about 10 years without any sort of alleged criminal incident or court filing. But in 2018, they did get taken to court. A handful of employees took them to court for labor practices. They said that they would work about 70 hours a week. They would get paid zero overtime, and they would only make about $10 an hour, all of which is illegal. So between 2018 and 2019, the Walshes paid out about just a hair over $100,000 in these claims, and who knows what else. That's just what was settled. And that's around the time that the Bloods allegedly got involved. They came into the company, they were hired on, and they gained control in 2019, according to these court filings. And they began to use the business as a way to funnel insurance payouts directly into their pockets. And the real people who suffered there were the homeowners and the business owners who had the fire, because nobody was actually doing the work that they were being paid for. It's a whole mess, and again, kind of wacky, right? It's easy to smirk about. It's still fresh. I should say, this is my journalism background showing everybody's innocent until proven guilty. These allegations are alleged. They have not yet had their day in court, but it's a pretty crazy story. And it does make me mad. It's easy to write it off as a weird thing that happened in New York City, but at the core, when you remove all the crime and the gang stuff from this is what some home and business owners still think people in my industry try to do. They think we prey on people who have had disasters. They think we come in and write these huge, unnecessary estimates for doing work that we won't even really do, that's not needed to keep them safe or to get them back in their home, and they think we're pocketing hundreds of thousands of dollars in insurance money all the time and just laughing all the way to the bank. You can tell when you talk to people on the phone, maybe they don't say it outright, but that's kind of in the back of their mind. It's the same way when people go to a mechanic and they're worried that they don't know what they're looking at. This guy's going to come up with all sorts of stuff he's going to tell me I have to do. The relationship that we have with not only homeowners and business owners, but also insurance adjusters, insurance agents, claims umpires, whoever's involved in this process, needs to be predicated on trust and reliability. And it's that trust that we really work on here. So when I see something like this happen, it does kind of get under my skin, because we work really hard to reverse that opinion, which unfortunately is out there. In fact, not to toot my own horn here, and that's a picture of Brooklyn, we did win the Buffalo Niagara Business Ethics Award last year. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award, the Crystal Award. This is our beautiful, by the way, I'm a mentor now for the Buffalo Niagara Business Ethics Award. This is our beautiful new logo, and shout out to Scott Beeler for really kind of spearheading that process. We work really hard to reverse this sort of opinion, to show people that they can trust us, that they can rely on us, and to earn that trust. So when stuff like this happens, wackiness aside, it really does kind of make me mad. We've been in business for 26 years without any threats of gang violence, and we're going to try to keep it that way. So, crazy story. If I get any updates, I will certainly share them with you. I think it's time for the prize. So, you guys know the deal. This is for the Serve Pro Mug Club. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. when we have this broadcast, we draw a prize for folks in the Mug Club. And if you're not in the Mug Club, just let me know if you want to join. I'll get you a nice, cool Serve Pro coffee mug with a number on the bottom. If you are in the Mug Club, this is the moment of truth. If you're watching, let me know you're watching. Leave a comment, say hi, hello, at your favorite charity. Send me a picture of your dog, whatever you want to do, just so I know you're there. Because if you're watching and I draw your number, you will get the coveted double prize. And if you're not watching, you're still eligible. We love you anyway. We understand that life sometimes gets in the way. So I'll give you guys a second to comment while I bring up my prize wheel. Let me just get back to my Serve Pro. And I will say before I do this, for my Mug Club folks, I've had some openings open up in my schedule. I talked to some people about this already. Some later this week, some next week. We had a project drop out. So I'm offering, this is a very secret deal, a deal on duct cleaning and carpet cleaning. So if you have a business or you in your own office, you would like to clean things up, spruce things up, clean the air, especially with the duct cleaning, let me know. Send me an email, comment here, call me, whatever. Number 716-646-6684. ServPro the Southtowns. I'll hook you up, but sort of a limited availability this week and next week as we had a large project kind of fall through. So let me know. Right now, it's time for prizes. Let's go. Round and round and round and round and round. And 310. Who's 310? Let me get over to my database here. 310 is going to be Alice Johnson at Hoey Insurance. So, Alice, if you're watching, let me know. And if you're not, I'll come see you anyway. We'll be out this week. To everybody watching, great to see you. I'm really glad to be back and to be back from the road. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. for Breakfast with Disaster. Don't miss it. I'll see you guys then.